Hey guys, Toby Morrison here. Welcome to today's video. This is a little bit different today. I'm not gonna so much give you some advice, but hopefully I can offer you some form of wisdom and some form of inspiration, because literally yesterday I received an email from a person who told me about their situation, their life, told me how hard it is, and told me that they've given up and that they don't know which program to do. You know, they've tried they've tried almost everything. You know how you say that sometimes, where you feel like you've tried everything. Well, you haven't, because you're still trying, but you know, you feel like you've tried everything. And this person said, you know, people are telling me I should do this program. People are telling me that this program's bad and I should do another program, and I don't know who to listen to, and now I'm confused, and now I've lost all hope and faith in what I'm doing. And here's the story, right? The truth is, you don't need a program to get better. And I'll actually reframe that. I'm not saying you don't need a program to get better. What I'm telling you is, I didn't have a program to get better. You have to remember, you know, there's a lot of people who improve and recover who didn't actually go through or get a particular program. Now, of course, everyone gets help along the way and finds inspiration and knowledge and education through some outlet. However, you know, in this day and age, there's so many options out there to get help that it can be overwhelming and consuming. But there's a couple of problems here. I'm going to name 3 things in this video of why this person won't improve until they turn this around. And I'll tell you why. Because first of all, if you listen to the opinions of others, you're going to go nowhere. And I'm including in myself. So if you're listening to me right now, question what I say. All right. If it's relevant for you and if you relate to it, then that's great. If you don't, that's absolutely fine too. You're going to find your own answers for yourself. But the truth is that if you're constantly seeking other people's opinions, you're living in a very dangerous place, because you're at the mercy of everybody else's ideas and ideologies. Now, the problem with that is that if you go online, there's a lot of crap ideologies and opinions out there. I'm sure you agree with that. And so when you're constantly researching and asking all these different people for opinions, you get lost. You get consumed, just like this person is consumed right now. And I understand it, and I was like that too. But 10 years ago, when I was ill with chronic fatigue syndrome, and mind you, I was completely bedridden, I had to go to hospital for 4 weeks, I'd lost 20 kilos of muscle mass. I was not well. And I literally researched everything. I was on Google, I was on YouTube, nothing popped up. I don't even think YouTube was actually, I think it launched actually a year or 2 after I'd actually been diagnosed with CFS. So there was barely anything out online at the time, right? There was no programs. There was no set program to recover from CFS or fibromyalgia. And you have to remember that most of it was all crap and negativity. And so what happened with me is that I got so fed up with reading all this shit, excuse my French, but it's true, verbal diarrhea from people, and from people who, you know, haven't had the courage or the will or the empowerment or the belief to help themselves, have constantly said over and over again, you can't get better from chronic fatigue syndrome. It's, you know, it's proven facts, and there's no cure, and blah 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 blah. And I got sick of it, and I was like, if I'm going to get better, I can't look at that. I need to find what works for me and help myself. So I started doing what I could. I started to read a page of a book every single day. I started to read things that gave me hope and gave me belief and gave me the education that I needed to implement in my life in order for me to improve and heal my physiology, my biology, and just my overall general health and well-being over a period of time. What I'm saying is that you don't necessarily need a program to get better, because I didn't have one. Right? The reason why I do the work that I do now is because I wish I had someone standing there saying, you can get better, and here's a bunch of things that you can do to help yourself. I think it's really important to come back to yourself. If you're stuck in this person's shoes where you constantly don't know what to do, you're overwhelmed with so many different ideas and different people's beliefs and opinions, ask yourself, what do I need to do in order for me to grow to where I want to be? Or how do I need to be and act in order to feel how I want to feel? Because at the end of the day, it's not so much what the program does for the person, it's what the person does with the program. And there are some fantastic programs out there, and even in personal development and every area of life, there's help out there. And let's face it, if you look at a gym, right, a gym membership, I think it's like 75% of gym members never use the gym after the first week of signing up, but they continue to pay. And so if you look at human behavior, that's how it always is going to be and always has been, right? And it's a sad fact, but it's true. And it's something that I had to come to grips with because I just didn't understand why don't people want to help themselves? Like, if they have the opportunity to, why wouldn't you, right? But what you have to come down to is this readiness. If you are not ready to help yourself, then you are not going to help yourself. It's as simple as that. You might have the idea, you might think it might be a good idea to help yourself, and it'd been really nice to feel well and get better, but an idea is only one step, right? Because if we just think about it and think about it and think about it, and we don't put in any action, then change is not going to be created. Because there's a common thread with people who get better and who recover and who improve, and it's not necessarily a program or a thing that gets them better. Guess what it is? They did something. They did something that they believed in, that they thought that was going to help them, and they continue to do it and help rebuild themselves. And that is the number one key factor. And it doesn't matter in any fear. We don't even have to talk about chronic fatigue syndrome. We can talk about any area of life. That's really what it comes down to. Now, of course, getting the right education, getting the right practical help, getting the right theoretical help to implement all this stuff in your life is very important. However, like I said, there's lots of people who didn't have that, just like myself. I just struggled along for years and years and years and just trialed and errored so many different things and just kept going and never giving up. And eventually everything clicked and it kept going and growing and getting better. And eventually I just felt great again and I got healthy. And it sounds like a miracle, but it wasn't, because there were so many setbacks and so many hard times and so many days of self-doubt and so many days of wanting to give up. But I didn't, and that's the truth. And so what I'm inviting you to do is potentially take a step back, literally. Breathe and objectively ask yourself, what do I need to do to help me? What does me need? Not what everyone else is telling me, what do I need for myself? What's going to really help me get better? Get rid of the noise. Because I'm sick of people saying this program's not good and this program's not going to get better. How about stop looking for a program and just look within yourself? Because there's a lot of help out there, and you're worrying about which help you should get. I think the first point of view is pointing the fingers back to yourself beforehand. Because that's where it starts. That's where you build up your resistance. That's where you build up your strength and stamina. That's where you build up your courage and your self-belief. Sure, all these other things outside of you are great and they're helpers, but if you're looking for that as the answer, you're not looking in the right place. Start with you first, then get the help outside. That way it is a healthy relationship. It will help you grow and move forwards in the direction that you want to, and also give you the perspective that you might need to go to that next level. So you see, it's like reverse engineering. Rather than saying, I need this to fix me, I need me to fix me, but I might need some help outside of me to get that help. And it doesn't matter what program it is, or what book it is, or what coach it is, as long as it's useful and you relate to it and you get something out of it, then it would be worth your while. Okay? I could share so many stories with you about the weird and wacky people I saw, the doctors I saw, You know, I used to get people, had one wacky doctor who used to tap on my back while I'd hum happy birthday. I think I shared that in my book. And, you know, I did it at the time because that's all I had. I believed in this guy. I thought, you know, he can help me. And I don't blame him at all. He didn't help me at all, but what he did, he actually did, but not in the way that he was trying to, and not in the way that I thought he would. He taught me, eventually, after 20 sessions with this guy, waiting 4 hours in his patient room, he taught me the art of self-responsibility. The fact that no one else could fix me but myself. No one else could help me get out of bed in the morning. No one else could talk to me in a positive way. No one else could uplift me when I was down. No one else could eat well and sleep well and do all the right things physically and emotionally and mentally to help myself. It was really a call to action. And so what I invite you to do is take that call to action back. Because if you look at every single person who's recovered from chronic fatigue syndrome, there is one common theme, and they all did something. They all did something. So what is it that you need to go and do for yourself to get better, to improve your life? And look, it's hard to do it in a video to be specific because everyone's so different. I've got patients in my program who haven't left the house in 7 years, whose triumph will be having a shower once or twice a week, or their triumph will be standing up for more than 2 or 3 minutes, okay? And they will build from that, and they have in the past. I've had amazing recovery stories from people who have gone from that level to now, having full functioning days, going out, seeing friends, driving 7 hours, you name it. And then I've got other people who are probably watching this video who are working part-time or working full-time or have a family, and they're at a different complete level, right? So what I'm asking you, and my heart goes out to you, I know how hard it is, but what I'm saying to you, wherever you're at, start with where you're at. Done.